Warm greetings to one and all. I am Bharat Arun, student of Devgiri CMI Public School, Calicut. Today, I am here to present The Cultural Sustenance That Went Unrecorded, written by Thomas Jacob. Occasionally, I ponder over history's exclusiveness, how it keeps certain events and personalities live in its memory, while effacing others with a vengeance. One of the foremost among such exclusions would be Father Chavara. Why is that his name doesn't figure among the list of pioneers in the several fields he had been active in? The printing press he set up at Mananam in 1846 was only the second by a Christian denomination in Kerala. Prior to that, there were only the CMS press at Kottayam set up by Benjamin Bailey and the government press at Thiruvananthapuram. Father Chavara went to Thiruvananthapuram accompanied by a carpenter to have a look at the government press. They made a mental note of its structure. On their return to Kottayam, they built a press, initially out of plantain pith and later out of wood, purely from memory. It was from the latter that the first books were printed at Mananam. In popular imagination, however, Father Chavara's was a banana press. Presses set up by Christian denominations had been exclusively used for missionary activities. But Father Chavara made a bold departure by using his press for secular purposes. Nazrani Deepika, the oldest daily newspaper in Malayalam, began its publication at Mananam Press. But Father Chavara's name figures nowhere among the list of pioneers of Malayalam journalism. It was Father Chavara's interdiction on sacraments in his capacity as the Vicar General against parish churches that refused to set up schools that led to the proliferation of schools run by the Catholic Church in Kerala. Surely, this was the beginning of the campaign for total literacy. It was Father Chavara who established the formula, one church, one school. What made Father Chavara's campaign quite remarkable was that he admitted young scholars from depressed sections of the society who were denied admission into other schools on accounts of casteism and untouchability. This single act can be considered as the launching of civil society in Kerala. The nationalist movement, which cut across caste and religion, was still half a century away. The royal proclamation of 1936, by which the right to enter temples was granted to people of all castes among Hindus, is celebrated as a historic event, while Father Chavara's revolutionary step is quietly forgotten. When the first schools in Kerala, open to children of all castes and creeds, were set up under Father Chavara's directive, Ayyankali, who was to later fight for the admission of Dalit children into government schools, was only a year old, and Sri Narayana Guru, described as the father of Kerala's Renaissance, a mere child of 8. Apart from giving books free of cost to Dalit children, Father Chavara introduced the practice of giving them kanji or rice gruel for lunch at school every day. He knew well that they went hungry most of the day at home and that it was impossible to study on an empty stomach. So the credit for starting the much acclaimed noon meal scheme of today also goes to Father Chavara. Needless to say, Father Chavara was the first person in Kerala to take effective steps for the empowerment of Dalits through education. By starting a Sanskrit school in Mananam in 1846, Father Chavara proved himself to be a broad-minded visionary who let in the light of knowledge from all sources. The home for the aged that Father Chavara started at Kainakari, the village where he was born, was the first of its kind in India, yet another of his deeds which did not find a place in the annals of history. There were many aged and ailing people left uncared for by the society. The practice of abandoning aged parents is of more recent origin, of course. They were in need of the services of such an institution. We like to think of palliative care as a concept that originated in the 20th century. However, the credit for introducing it in Kerala, a full century before it evolved as a social practice, goes to Father Chavara. Official historians have been unjust in not taking note of the fact that Carmelites of Mary Immaculate, CMI, founded by Father Chavara at Mananam, is the first Christian monastic order in India. CMI is today a global organization. The first order for nuns in India was also established by Father Chavara. The convent he built at Kunamavar was the first in India. An amount of 8,000 rupees was collected from the congregation for this purpose. A minor miracle, considering that a large sack of rice cost less than a rupee in those days. When Father Chavra discovered that among the donations was an amount of 18 rupees, which was earned by less than fair means, he refused to use it for the construction of the convent and gave it away to the poor of the parish. It is time that Father Chavra is restored to his rightful place in history. Thank you.